Salam alaikum. Suleiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. My second brother and sisters, one little adjustment here. One little adjustment here. Let's see how we do this. Brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about the prophets. The prophets. The prophets. The Holocaust, brothers and sisters, keep reminding you, continue to remind you. We're going to have to talk about it pretty soon because it's going to be all in your face. Because what you see transpiring in the next few days up to the next year or so is a direct consequence of Holocaust. So no matter what they tell you, the CRT and all this stuff telling you, if it's bull, then nothing will happen. So we'll see who's a liar, who's truth, who the devils are, who the saints, demons, the jinn. We're going to see all that. Because in the next few days, it's going to bear witness to what we went through the last 5 years. The next few days, the next year or so, bear witness to our struggle for the last 500 years. They bear witness to the intensity of it, how bad it was. So if it was nothing, then nothing will happen. If good things occurred to us in the last 5 years, good things you will see in the next year and a half. Beautiful things, great things. So the next year and a half will bear witness and expose the liars and the truthful. The Holocaust. Brothers and sisters, I think enough said about that. Because you're going to see in the next, like I said, in the next few years, you're going to know exactly what the Holocaust is all about. Some of you are going to know it very intimately. We're going to talk about the prophets. Brothers and sisters, you don't have to be worried about who's a false prophet now, because I'm going to explain all to you. Those of you who are willing to listen, those you're not willing to listen, that's your problem. Because we're not here for you. See, the prophets, you have messengers, you have prophets, you have the scientists, the gods, even angels. The prophets kind of unique because they come forth, as it says, a prophecy. They prophesy. So Elijah Muhammad was not a prophet. He's a messenger. He comes with a message. See, most like a warning. And angels, right, they come, usually they come in battle. When angels come, it's wartime. And scientists, they just come to take control after everything else has transpired. You know, the warning, the prophecy, the angels coming forth, and then scientists step forward and take control. They usually precede the scientists. This normally. But we had exceptions in this last 50,000 years. But for right now, let's talk about right now. See, in the last 6,000 years that we're speaking of history, all the scientists and messengers, see, they're all always a given. Well, even in outside of, the 50,000 year period, they're always given a message. That's why the scientists take the time to write history for the next 25,000 years. And then they take the history and they break it down into segments for the time periods that history pertains to. And then it's given to someone in some form. And then they go and use it. And those normally those scriptures that they're given, they're atom bombs. They change reality, right? Because they change reality to conform, right? To be in sync with the universe, in sync with mathematics. And they only need to send one person. That's how powerful they are. And they change reality because if you are tuned with the universe anyway, you're at war with the universe itself. You're at war with mathematics itself. You don't just need that one person. See? And that's the way it works. So they come with scripture. So every prophet or messenger, they come with something. They're giving something in different ways. But it always conforms to that particular person's thought matrix, if you want to say it that way. Because we have a thought, everyone, I'm trying to keep it simpler form, and you get more complicated than that, right? But we have a thought matrix. Everyone is different. And so those scriptures are written to match an individual's thought matrix. So they would understand it, and they would be able to take the power from it, right? They would use the power of it to bring forth the transformation, because the power in those scriptures, they're bombs, and the person has to survive the bomb they're igniting. Or what's the point? If they can't, and they're strong enough to survive the bomb they're igniting, then they'll be blown up with it. Because you can't come around to my igniting that you shouldn't be eating pork and should be eating this, and you're eating it. It doesn't make any sense. So you have to be strong enough to withstand that bomb that you're igniting. So it has to be designed, right, to be in sync, or some people call it like engrams. Your mind has like an engram. I'm just keep a simple matrix to fit your particular matrix. That's how they write the scripture. So you take Prophet Muhammad, for instance, right? He got it from Gabriel tuning in. Now he tuned in on a frequency that only Prophet Muhammad could pick up, because it was in the air. But nobody picked up a Prophet Muhammad. It was designed to fit his particular mind, his particular mentality, his belief matrix, or engram, if you want to go in there. I'm gonna stay with the engram stuff, but that sounds like that's Scientology stuff, right? But it's designed to fit his thought matrix. And so he was the only one to pick it up. See? And he got a book. They sent him a book. Through the airways, the frequency, transmission, vibrate, and he was the only one to pick it up. So that's why I knew he would be the one, because they put it out there, and he would be the only one to pick it up. So that's how, because see, most of the time, you're giving these scriptures from someone else. Like he was giving it from an angel. See? So almost all the prophets and messengers or angels are always given information from another source other than themselves. The only one that wouldn't happen to is the 25th scientist. He'd be self-taught. Master Muhammad was taught himself. He was taught by his father. Okay. So his father knew that it would be his seed that would do this, so he knew who to teach. But if you understand the scripture, he knew, but that's no story together. Now, Elijah Muhammad, he was special because he's one of the few. He was a messenger, but he's listed by name because Master Muhammad came looking. He knew when he came that the person that he was looking for, his name would be Elijah. So that's another way to make sure you got the right person. So it wasn't by his matrix, it was by his name that he was able to find him. Because you know the person, because he's one of the few people in the Bible that's actually named by their name he was born with. So he was, Master Muhammad came looking for someone named Elijah. And he was given something. He was given the supreme wisdom, which is scripture, right? A mathematical scripture that Master Muhammad gave him, right? That would be in sync with the way Elijah Muhammad thinks. So it took root. See, the Quran took root with Prophet Muhammad because it was in sync with the way he thinks. So he was able to pick up the vibrations. No one else could pick it up. That's what I mean. They kind of, that's what I kind of telling you. Said, well, yeah, how did Gabriel? He said Gabriel revealed it to him. Well, Gabriel wasn't present. How was he revealed to him? He was feeling through his thoughts, and he was the only one able to pick it up. And so that's how Gabriel knew that Prophet Muhammad would be the one that would receive it, because when he put it out there, that's the one that picked it up. He's the one. That's how Master Muhammad knew, because he'd be Elijah, and Elijah would walk up to him, and he did, and so he knew he was the one. So he gave him the lessons. Isa also, it says, like when Muhammad taught it, he says a female prophet came, and he gives more particulars. I didn't get the whole story, right? But I know that he did say that it was a female prophet, and I think that she got him by tuning in or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not going to repeat it, but she was able to single him out. So now we have Master Muhammad, we got Prophet Muhammad, we got Elijah. Those are the ones we're familiar with. But everyone had a book, some form, right, of the scripture. But Farrakhan doesn't have a damn thing, does he? But he claims he's anointed. Where's the book he was given? Where's the book? He has nothing. He's not listening to scripture by that name. But every time you read about him, it's bad news. I know this says they keep reading a piece named about Peter. I built my church, and God does. All you gotta do is, if you got third grade education, if you don't mathematics, anything about logic, you see right away that he's saying opposite what do you think he's saying. The gates of hell would not prevail. That means they failed. That means that he filled his church up with demons and devils. But he want to change from church to kingdom. There's nothing in the scripture say kingdom. No translation gets that. There's full of shit over there. Polo shit from start to finish. And now they push this thing faith, because that's what I've been talking about for the last week or so, right? Faith. Now they talk about faith. Just because you can't find anything, any proof of his speculations, of his assertions. They just have faith. Just have faith. He knows, just have faith. Because he's the one rebuilt. He didn't rebuild the Nation of Islam. He didn't rebuild anything. He didn't want to tear it down. They didn't tell that part. He tore it down. They tell the part that when the wolves came, that he didn't stick around. He ran off and hid. When the wolves come, he ran over here because he's a coward. And he's stupid. He's a liar. He never given us scripture because he's nothing. Every prophet and messenger had something. He was given nothing. Nothing at all. And he knows nothing. And he's a liar. He didn't rebuild anything. They didn't tell about the fact he actually tore it down. But you hear Israel talking, you think they married. Maybe they are. I'm not going into all that. Anyway, but it said the only time, it says, when Suleiman come on, see, he'd be self-taught. But he would have the benefit of having met Elijah Muhammad. Because most prophets or messengers don't meet the one previous to them. So there's an exception. He did. See? He said he did. He would start his ministry afterwards. They said he would actually meet Elijah or John. Okay? But John, and that may be the reason why he didn't pass the baton on him, because in reading scripture, he didn't even want to baptize him, which means he didn't even tell him anything. He said he wasn't worthy. I'm not worthy to. Now he said, no, I want you to do it. So he didn't necessarily teach him. He gave him information. Because he said, I'm not worthy to teach you anything. But he said, no, you have to baptize me. See? So Suleiman insisted. Other than that, he's totally self-taught. But see, no one gave him a scripture. See, because everyone, like I said, everyone was something, some kind of isolating characteristic about that person, identified that person as the one. And so in Suleiman's case, it was breaking the seals. because no one could do that but him. So that isolates him as that being one. Isolated him as being the one. Self-taught, because no one came and gave him the book. No one talked to him. He got no tune in or anything like that. No angel came in. Like I said, didn't meet Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad never took any credit for teaching him anything. And what he knows, the angel and everybody knows, not of what he knows anyway, is not from Elijah. He can talk about what Elijah Muhammad said, but he's not teaching Elijah Muhammad's teachings. He verifies it. It says all prophets and messengers verify the prophets and messengers before them. Now, Suleiman is not a prophet, but sometimes he refers to prophet because he does prophecy. But all scientists have that ability, but they're not necessarily called prophets. But I mean, you can call them prophets because they're doing prophecy, right? Listen, he's a 25th scientist. That's why he's not. There's no one to teach him. If he's a 25th scientist, Master Muhammad, he had to be taught by his father. Elijah Muhammad taught us that. That was Elijah Muhammad's primary purpose, was to give Suleiman history. History is not something that you just pull out there. We all need history. It's something you can't prophesize history. Now, past history, you can discern some of it just through mathematics. History is history. It's written down. It's a fact. And so all the prophets and messengers and scientists, right, they all have to get the background. Actual facts, as they say. So he got history from Elijah Muhammad. So again, Farrakhan, he's given nothing. Where's the book he's given? He says he was taught by Elijah Muhammad, but that's not true because he's not teaching Elijah Muhammad's teachings, not at all, not even close. They can tell you all they want to about how he's teaching Elijah Muhammad's teaching, and they would never do a Q&A because there would be dust in half a second because they totally lie. There's nothing, he's not teaching Elijah Muhammad's teaching in any respect. And they just keep talking about, well, you didn't make yourself. God, this mystery God. But God's a man. He's definitely a man. What you give, say nothing. But yet he's everybody's womb making babies. He gave you eyes. He gave you ears. Because they totally retarded, dumb assholes over there, period. I'm going to call them what they are. You don't like it, period. Hang up. Close down. But I'm not talking to you. So everybody giving their books like Elijah Muhammad. Right? So he had to be taught by Master Muhammad for 3.5 years. See? But it says Suleiman, you know, some things I don't like to talk about, brothers and sisters. Some things, I mean, because I'm getting ready to go to another level that you're not even, most you're not going to be prepared for. It takes another level. I keep telling you this. I'm giving you about that much of what I know, about that much what the angel is actually saying. And it's right there in front of you. Let's go and look at a couple of things here. This might help. And I finally got my system working practically all day, trying to get my computers to talk to each other. And it's kind of like not a worthwhile benefit because I know soon I get up, they're going to come and attack it again. I'll try a different way. This was different this time because they actually physically took down my primary laptop. I just bought it. So now I got to replace it. So it's on the it's on the when you warranty or whatever, they're going to replace it, but about the time they do it, I don't think we can be here. That's my opinion. Like what they say, take it or leave it. That's my opinion. That's why some of them I'm talking about right now, I can't talk about. That's one of the reasons, one of the motivations for this presentation This is a very special presentation I'm giving today. It's a very special presentation. I've been giving special presentations all week. This is a very special one again today. And I'm probably getting a lot of special ones going on into the future because we in it now, brothers and sisters. So I can pull the gloves off. So a lot of things that I was holding back. Prophets. See, Elijah Muhammad didn't want to be called a prophet. So he keeps talking about his prophecies. He wasn't a prophet. He just said he didn't want to be called a prophet. There, he said he didn't want to be referred to as a prophet. He was a messenger. But he made prophecies based on scriptures, what he's allowed to do. And Master Muhammad gave him full, what do you call it, carte blanche to do whatever you need to get the job done. See, okay, that's not really what I wanted to show there. I'm gonna leave it there. Kind of like got that messed up there. That's not the one I wanted to show. In fact, I think the next one's messed up too because I got so busy trying to get this connection. I forgot to update this file here. Yep. Okay. I'm just gonna talk through it, but I'm not gonna change it. So let me see if I have it back up here. Okay. The prophets. And this is the angel key here. There's books hidden inside this. I've been telling people years there was books hidden within it, but I never told them what it was. So there's two special books hidden in it. Angel itself. See, the angel was there, and right, the mind matrix. That's why no one could figure it out but Suleiman, because it was designed to be in sync with his mind matrix. So I'm not going to enneagram stuff. I'm going to say mind matrix, and I'm trying to keep it simple. She's the only one able to do it. 25th scientist. Master Muhammad is the 24th scientist. There's a lot I could tell you about, and I will be in a few days, perhaps. But that's what the angel key looks like in one formation. I mean, this is a structure, basic structure. It doesn't change. The symbols change, but depending on the chapter. But there's two books hidden inside there. There's other things too hidden inside I haven't talked to you about. There's two specific books, 7 Churches and 7 Thunders. 7 Churches kind of like on the surface a little bit. 7 Thunders a little bit more difficult. 7 Churches will be delivered at a certain time, specifically. Because they sealed up to a specific time. Because a certain person was supposed to receive it. It's like the 7 churches, a certain person was supposed to receive it. There's 2 see, and if you want Daniel, there'll be 3 Levite prophets that'll be with Daniel. Now, in Daniel, they don't do anything. But in the angel, they do. So it's Isa, Muhammad, and Elijah. Elijah would follow Master Muhammad. He would teach to both the demons and the saints. He would go away. That's the story of Exodus. He'd be taught by Master Muhammad. 3.5 years. All this stuff is in the angel. Then he would leave a liar and a deceiver and an ass in his place. That's Balaam, the ass and Balaam or whatever, Farrakhan. But talk about what Elijah would do. And he did those things that his said angel said he would do. They would go away, then it'd be a falling away. And you got two other prophets. Now, I should have really had that here to show it. If you bear with me for a second, brothers, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because it's important, this is very clear. And I've been so busy trying to get my computer systems up. I finally got it. I was so happy. I forgot to make this change. Oh, I was so excited. So finally, after 3 days of non-sleep and everything else, right? I was finally able to do it. And it's going to take a minute, brothers and sisters. Let's see how I do this. What's the fastest way to do this? Okay, this. How do I do that? It's going to take a couple minutes, brothers and sisters. Take a minute. This is it's really, really important here. I get this right. Okay. Really didn't do that right. I actually did it, but I didn't. I bought it in the draft copy. So, okay, it'll take a couple of minutes, but it's worthwhile for the point I'm trying to make. Okay, let's see here. Take a minute. Okay. So I'm going to do it here. And, okay. I'm going to take this out here. Need this. Oh, no. Okay. Get this right here. No. Yep, I forgot something else too. I really banged this one up. Okay, let's see. Don't need that one. Okay. Check all this out. I apologize for this, brothers and sisters. Believe me, I've been working so hard the last 2 days to get my systems back up. I was so excited about now I usually get excited getting this thing together. I forgot to go ahead and bring in the updated version, especially after all the work to put it, bringing it down, all the work to put this together. Okay, there you're almost there. Okay, there you go. And let's see, we're gonna call this. This is almost there. And okay, almost there. Oops. Almost there. Don't know if almost there. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Okay, I'm gonna have to fake this one because I don't have time to go in and okay. That's what I have to do. Okay, wait a minute now. Okay, that's gonna have to do. Okay, let's see if I can. I lose it. One thing, brothers, just hold on for a second here. I didn't mess this up. I should have left it alone. I should have left it alone. I should have left it alone. Yep, I should have left it alone. Bear with me, brothers, just for a minute here. Nope. I should have left it alone. Let's get this way. That's it. Okay, there it is. That's the goal. That's the one I just put on there. 1 second, brothers, sisters. What does that say? I just change this. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, I got it. 1 second, brothers, sisters. I got it. There you go. That's it. There you go. Okay, I got it. Got it. Okay, ready to go. Pardon me for that, brothers and sisters. I think it's when you see it, I'm going to tell you, you understand it better if I do it this way. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me get back where I need to be. Oops. There you go. Okay, here we go. Pardon me, brothers and sisters. You see here? None of you said too well. Say that's the sun right there, River Suleiman, right to the top. Right? Oh, I forgot. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I have something else to do anyway. I'm gonna leave it there. So I know nobody understood that. Ahmed, that's another name for Muhammad. That was one of his names, Ahmed. Right? So Suleiman would teach them too. See, because they're two prophets that the angel talks about, that Daniel talks about also. It talks about the three Levite prophets in Daniel, and in the angel also talks about three Levite prophets altogether: Elijah, Isa, and Ahmed. So he said he would teach them something I've been holding back for 30 some years because I wanted to wait out there and met him because he'd be taught by him, by Suleiman. He'd be taught by them, by him. They would be taught by him up until just before the war because they have a mission. Let me back up again. See, when Prophet Muhammad, he was given this book because but he had to do something with it. See, at first he wasn't sure where he was getting this information from because he thought he was being possessed by a demon or something because he would go into epileptic fit every time he would receive these revelations. Right? And he wasn't sure. And his wife told him, says, no. His wife was with him. He was an older woman. And so he did something with it because it not only fit their mind, but remember your actions result from your mental state. So he took action. Because if he hadn't took action, then he'd just be reciting the Quran and saying, what good would that be? Same thing, Prophet Isa. Same thing, Elijah. No one stood by and told him, once he was given information, then it's him to put his behind in gear, right? According to information, make things happen. And that's what they do. Same thing with Suleiman, right? He wasn't given the injury, he found it. He wasn't told anything about Elijah, he found Elijah. See, he's self-taught. Elijah didn't find him, he went looking for Elijah. He was in Vietnam, he went looking for He gave up everything. We looked for Elijah based on his understanding of scripture at the time. He was just a babe, pretty much 20 years old, but he still had enough understanding of scripture to go look for Elijah, which he did. So he went looking for Elijah, right? And he found him. And it wasn't until 15 years later he discovered the angel, because he had no idea that all these things is happening now. Wasn't even on his wheelhouse. I mean, anything like those things. So that's another story I'll talk about some other time. But it says that these two prophets, right, because it said they would rise, they would be brought forward at the time of the end. Isa, some people refer to Jesus 2,000 years ago, and Ahmed referred to Prophet Muhammad 1,400 years ago. It said they would be they'd be present in the judgment. So how was that going to happen? Well, that's what it says, and that's what's happening. And it said they'd be taught by the 25th scientist himself. He would teach them the angel, the gospel, the Bible, and the Quran. He would teach them all those things. They got the best teacher any prophet or messenger ever got in the past. So Elijah was taught directly by the God himself. It said Suleiman would teach these two prophets. See, Elijah was taught by Master Muhammad himself, personally. But it said those two prophets were taught personally by Suleiman himself. That's why he had it like that. See, it was there in your front of your face, but people, I'm sure nobody noticed it. But he had a controversy with them because he didn't want to do it. But see, they Master Muhammad's people. He gave birth to the Levites. Elijah Muhammad, raised them. But they was like pushmobiles. They'd be pushed. But as soon as Elijah, they'd be lifted up, held up. So once Elijah Muhammad left, they fell apart. They stopped moving. And I had a very controversy with them because the way they treated Elijah, the way they did Elijah after Elijah left. It was terrible. You had to be there, brothers and sisters. They turned on him so fast, like on a dime, and they talked about him, called him names, his family, everything. It was vicious. I'll never forgive them for that. I was totally traumatized by it. I could not believe it. Because here I am, I sacrificed everything. I'm 21 years old. I was 20 years old at the time. I sacrificed everything, put myself, whole life and everything on the line, looking for Elijah. Could end up in jail for 22 years, 11 years, because I walked away from the military, walked away from everything I had worked for. And there was nobody that had no family, anything. I had a little sister. I walked away from everything looking for Elijah, put everything on the line for that. They had a court, they could put me in prison, because all kinds of things to me. Here I look for him and I find him. And I had all kinds of difficulties. I was homeless for 6 months, and I had all kinds of problems. There was no cakewalk. Plus, the FBI looking for me, the government looked for me, because I walked away from the military after 4 years. And I'm making all these type of sacrifices. These people just, man, want to commit homicide. It's terrible. I'll never forgive him for it. Farrakhan told all that crap he wants to, or he rebuilding it, he tore it down. They don't talk about that part. He tore it down and destroyed thousands of people's lives. And he ran away like a coward, that the coward he is. And he badmouthed the messenger. They tore it down, it didn't fall, they tore it down. Started something else called Balalians. I'm not working with that clown. So I have a problem with the Levites. I have a big problem with them. See? That's what tell you story of Jones. He didn't want to talk to him at all. But Master Muhammad insisted. He insisted very strongly. And we scientists, we stick together and we tell each other, you got to listen to the science. I mean, scientists do have great disagreements. They do go after it. We have scientists that put that moon out there. And he's evidence that he was definitely dissatisfied with the situation. Mm-hmm. And we got a couple of scientists on the scene. We got one on the scene right now that's going to attack us. Lucifer. I know you know him by another name, some of you. So we do have that kind of disagreements. But not that kind of disagreement between, normally. And so it's hard for us to tell other people that we just need to respect what science say. And then we're not. So I had to learn that lesson I was a young person, and it took me a while. because I was in disagreement. I didn't want to help these people. He wanted to. He's something I don't see. I still suspicious of him myself right now. I'm still suspicious of him. I openly say it. 'Cause I've never seen anything yet that convinced me that they're loyal and they can get the job done. That's me, but Master Muhammad has a different idea. So these two prophets, like all the prophets, given a book. Farrakhan, he can't even get the book that exists that's right in front of his face. Both of them given a book. And their teacher time is over. They will be up until a time of the resurrection because they have the book and they have a mission. Now either they'll do the mission or they won't do the mission. The book is uniquely tailored for their particular mindset, their particular mind matrix. But they have to take it and do something with it. So one of them, his responsibility, is release the four winds. See, those angels, what's the angels there? They're the winds. They're Levites too. He's got to release them. Because that's the resurrection takes place on the release of the four winds. That's Ahmed. That's responsibility to release those four winds. He said he has responsibility to release the demons, the demon war, ignite that. And he got a special mission, has something to do with taking out false Israel. I'm not going to get into that one. I don't see that one at all, but that says this. He got a special mission to deal with the Levites, certain Levites. I would say at this point, betraying false Israel. I'm not going to say any more than that on that one. Because if I tell that, then false Israel will not be betrayed because they would be expecting it. So those two missions they have. Now, whether they accomplish them or not, that's up to them. I don't see it. But then again, if you asked me in 1980, that I'd be doing this, I would say, man, you out of your mind? I wouldn't have seen that either. So I'm not going to knock it. I'll just see what happens. But my past experience with Levites, you got to be very careful. Because if you notice right here, the next one here, that's them at the bottom. I forgot to change that also. That's the three right there at the bottom of the ark. Actually, that's wrong too. They should be right on Syria and Iran. I have to apologize, brothers and sisters, my haste. And I meant to correct it, and I just made the correction just now, and I forgot. I got that backwards. Right? Because it should be the elect on the top. With Suleiman. Then the Shia under them. That's Master Muhammad's rod of iron. Some have to do a redux to make sure this gets perfectly, because I don't want this to be any mistakes here. Like I said, my exuberance, my excitement of getting, because really I went through it the last few days. I got very loose. I had to work hard. And finally, all day today, just trying to get my computers to talk to each other. Finally figured that one out. And then I forgot, I put this again, I forgot to make the changes. When I did make the change, I forgot to bring in the ones I made the changes to. So under that, then you have the one in the center of Elijah and Isa and Ahmed. And then the Arabs on the other, where David represents the waters. So they're on the waters. The ark is the top three, which would be the angels. They would be on this. And they're at the bottom of the ark. There's a reason for that. Because they're low man on the totem pole, but Master Muhammad brings them in the ark. They're the last ones in. But they get in. So I'm leaving him alone because that's Master Muhammad's. He sees something I don't see, but that's his baby. He looks out for him. He does look out for him. He looks out for those Levites. He looks out for them. When he raised Elijah, a Levite, he looks out for him. I'm suspicious. I'm looking out for the elect. So my teaching of those two prophets is over. They've been taught directed, face to face by 25th scientists and so for a couple of years, over 2 years. Been taught the angel. No other prophet and messenger got what they got. No other prophet and messenger told who they are, given their specific book, their mission, right? Taught the angel, taught directly, face to face, by a 25th scientist. No one ever probably ever good messenger got that. Not even close. All of that. Now teaching time is over. They've been told to stand down. You don't represent me anymore. You got your mission. You know who the God is. You know who the high priest is. You know who Master Muhammad is. You know who Suleiman is. You know what time it is. You got your own book that's tailored to your mindset. See? And Suleiman can understand because he unlocked the book. But he's not going to take and waste time studying that because that's for them. That's their job. And he's got a backup plan in case they don't perform their job. Because he's not going to depend on them. I'm not going to depend on them. So they got their marching orders. They got their book. What else can they ask for? Got their own special book. And it's two of them together. Usually a messenger prophet only comes by itself. So actually three together. Because they're doing it in the presence of the 25th scientists. Elijah Muhammad didn't, right? He didn't do it in the presence. Master Muhammad is around, but he didn't do it in his presence while he's right physically available to him like that. These two never had anything, nobody ever had anything like they have. Prophet Muhammad never saw the person that was giving them information. Never saw him. Elijah Muhammad only saw Master Muhammad for 3.5 years. But he's been given everything that you can think of, all help, all information, everything. So if they fail in their mission, that's totally on them. Man, so specifically what the mission is, and what the reward is, because Master Muhammad is going to set them up and give them authority over Africa. Well, we refer to Southern Africa because Arabia is Northern Africa. They won't have any authority over Northern Africa. But Master Muhammad was set in between, in Jerusalem, between North Africa and South Africa, between Arabia and what you know as Africa. And Elijah and Isa and Ahmed will have authority over Africa, the best part of the planet Earth. If they accomplish their mission, they've been told their mission is, they got protection, got the God. I mean, whatever probably had all of that. Protection of the God, right? They also got the protection of 25th scientists because by the knowledge he's given them, he gave them the 25 fundamental principles of Islam. Even Prophet Muhammad didn't have that. He had 5 pillars, but not the mathematics of it behind it. All that they've been taught. And taught directly by a 25th scientist itself. So now school's over. Master Muhammad's about to pull the trigger, about to ignite that powder keg or tinderbox in the Middle East, was going to blow up Europe. burn America, this whole hemisphere down. The prophets, brothers and sisters. And Farrakhan, he don't have anything. He got his philosophies. See, you know, Ishmael talking about what Farrakhan wrote. And the Quran said about people writing their own stuff in their own hand. He getting this from God. He ain't getting nothing from God. You got a God who had a scripture, had a book, had lessons. You got nothing. Well, he's being inspired by God. No, he's not. Yeah, maybe Satan. He's a liar. He's about to be told. Well, he's toast now, actually. But he's about to feel actual flames, but he's going down hard. That's the prophet's brother and sister. That's what I wanted to mention. I want to get across to you. But another thing, see, you see here, Suleiman's be taught by, he going to teach the elect, 144,000. And they are totally proactive, totally value added. But Levites ain't. Because they got a history of being pushmobiles. Had to push them, push them, push them, push them. I've done enough of that for a couple of years. It's been a big distraction. You had to push them. You push them, they'll move. Elijah Muhammad had that problem with them. You push them, they move. You stop pushing, they stop moving. And I tested them. See, I slow down for a couple of days, they slow down. They got that problem. I don't know if they're going to overcome it. That's not for me to worry about. Because when the elect wake up, it says they follow with the Lamb wherever he goes. They're not pushmobiles, because I'm not pushing anybody anywhere. That's why I didn't want to do the Levites, because you got to push them. But Master Muhammad said that's what he wants, so okay, I give Master Muhammad whatever he wants, he gets. Whatever he wants, he gets. But they had to be out the way. They are out the way. They had to be out the way when Lazarus wake up, because Lazarus have to see. Like when you raise a child looks, you can talk all you want to. They can watch your example. And they need to see proactive people, added value that you don't have to push. Because we're building a perfect nation. Nation that's inspired, proactive. And they're not seeing it any place but in me. So if I'm the only ones they're going to see it, and I'm the only one here doing it. It says somebody walk alone. So he looked around, there was no one to help. Because no one to help. Levites ain't helping. They're not proactive. They're not added value. They slowed me down. It's been 2 years of slowing down, keep dealing with them, dealing with them, dealing with them, dealing with them, dealing with them. And now it's over. Now they don't know. I gave them everything they're supposed to have. I gave them their book. They got their mission. They've been taught everything that you can possibly teach anybody. They know exactly what's going on. They know what time it is. I mean, woo, how can you be beat? Right? The eyes are wide open. I gave them eyes, gave them ears. So what else can I give them? Now, if they do nothing with it, they should be doing exploits. It said they would. I mean, it does say in Daniel. It does say something. I missed that one. Daniel says the people that know that God will do exploits. That's during tribulation, though. So they got to go to the tribulation. And I don't care they go to tribulation, because they should go to tribulation after where they treat Elijah, what they did to him. Because I'm not going to take them out of here. But Master Muhammad, he's going to take out history. He got Elijah already. So he's going to take those out. So they're going to be in the ark. But they're going to be in the bottom of the ark. That's why the reason why they're in the bottom of the ark, because their last was in the ark. First in the ark, we elect. They raised first. And then they connected with Shia. And then Master Muhammad brings in they last in the ark. And then you see the Arabs, they're the waters, and the ark is more stressing on the waters, they're in the tribulation. So I'm not really sure that here. I'm going to do a redux to make this clear, because I don't want any confusion on this. But when you see the elect, they're going to be amazing. So no spot of blemish with them, no lie found in their mouths. Then you'll see what proactive gods are. So we're not going to set a poor example here. Now, maybe I'm wrong about the Levites. We'll see. I'm not condemning them. I'm not condemning them. I'm just saying I don't see it. Obviously, Master Farmer sees it. It says if they do the things that Scripture said they're going to do, then all praise be to Allah. Because if they do the things the Scripture said they're going to do, man, they're going to be magnificent. They're going to, they do the things that, if this Esau does what they said he's going to do, and that thing he's going to do against false Israel, if he does all of that, man, Assalamu alaikum, brother. If you do that, say you're going to do exploits, if he does that, man, he deserves everything he gets. He deserves to have Africa. And he should be praised, deserve to be praised. And if Ahmed does what he says he's going to do, at least those 4 wins, that's going to protect the elect and other things I'm not talking about here. Okay. Because he got the book to do it. See, because they supposed to be splitting atoms, not just talking news and stuff. That's supposed to be doing. That's what they got the book for. You got atomic bomb. You out there with a pea shooter. 22, you got atomic bombs. That's what they're giving. They're giving powerful atomic bombs. They're giving 2 scriptures. The 7th thunder. That comes thunders. That's power. Thunders. Boom. He's supposed to release 7 thunders in this war. Imagine that. 7 thunders. Damn. That's powerful. And he's got the book that's supposed to figure out how to do that. Now, if I have to do it myself, right? If I have to get in there and do it, figure it out myself, I'll do it. If it comes to that, I'll just have to make it, because I already gave him a head start. I already gave him the book, set up, gave him the matches, right? And everything to go, all you got to do is, right? I set up for him. Same thing with the churches. Those 7 churches. And he's supposed to be the stone that Master Muhammad used to knock out false Israel. Bam! I ain't going into any more details, man, you going to do all of that? That's what it says. They're 2 people. I was waiting for them, how long they show up. So when they're going to show up, I knew they was going to show up. I didn't know who they was going to be. Just like I didn't know who Obama was going to be. I knew that person would show up. I just didn't, I'd wait to see him. I didn't know what their name was going to be or anything. They don't tell you that. So they showed up. I said, okay, right on time and together. That's amazing, ain't it? And that's the thing. It wouldn't be in if they said they weren't going to do those things. That's what it says. The 5th and 6th trumpet, they're going to do exploits, marvelous things. So we'll see. I'm worried about what I'm doing. I know my mission is, and nobody's standing telling me to do this, do that. And if Leah's waiting me to tell me to push, those days over, I would have taught you. I pushed you, I held you up. No. I raised you up. I did my job. Gave you the scripture. That's what I was supposed to do. I've done it. That's what Master Muhammad wanted to do. It's an angel. I've done that. So now you're on your own. Teach is over. I'm going for self. I'm focused on what I'm doing right now. They probably wasn't where I was teaching. They had that job, and they probably wasn't where I was preparing them. Might not, then I don't know. I kept telling them, read those scriptures, try to study, read between the lines. I would be teaching them for a couple of years to prepare them. Give them the book. How was they going to do it? There was 2 people that had to get a book to. They had to prepare them and teach them. And he was well taught. Personally. based on technology, face to face. And I had to be very careful. Like I kept telling them, you don't know me. I had to remake myself to do this job. They don't know me. They think they do, they don't. But I've done my job. And so now I got these demons I'm dealing with, and they're on the run. Oh man, they doing all kind of stuff. They long lost friends, right? When my childhood contact me, hey man, what state you in? Where you at? Yeah, right. Would you come to visit me? What's going on with that? They looking for me. They can look all they want. I mean, I would tell them, but I ain't got time to mess with these clowns. So they get lucky enough to find me. I guess their lucky day. That'd be a lucky day because they'd be taken out before the tribulation. Because I'm not worried about them. Faith. They don't know what faith is. Why are they talking that kind of stuff? Because people are lost in faith over there. Better read the angel, read about Mark again. People walking away from them. I think I covered everything I want to cover here, brothers and sisters. The Levites are on their own right now because they ain't ready. They ain't ready to lead 145,000. I can't have any mediocre people around because then they'll be mediocre. I need proactive, and if I'm the only one, then I'm the only one. Actually, that's what it says. I'm the only one they're gonna see anyway when they wake up. See somebody's proactive, 30 years, totally committed. Don't back down, don't slow down, no matter how much they throw at me, throw me in jail, try to kill me and everything else, and I'm still moving, proactive. 73 years old, that's what they got to see. They can't see me being pushed. And I'm doing this on my own, nobody's telling me. See, they're going to be gods. So they got to understand, hey, and they got a special revelation come to them. I'm not going to tell you about. But see, they're going to be proactive. That's going to be on top of the ark on the top. So my days of teaching the Levites, that's not. I got one more mission though. I got to talk to them one more time. Just before we leave out of here, when the war starts, got to take down Farrakhan because when the war starts, it says now the accused of our brother be thrown cast down. Who's the accuser? Farrakhan is the accuser. Are y'all so sinful? Oh. No. We in obedience. He talks about obedience and everybody. He's stupid. They stupid over there. We're in obedience. We obey. We submitted. All other nations didn't submit. They submitted to some degree. We submitted. So how could we be called sinful? Well, we in compliance. We're doing God's will. Submit to a wicked people. So he knew if we submit to wicked people, right? He knew that they would teach you to be wicked. So we're not sinful. So the accused of our brother be cast down. That's what happened. That's where I'm focusing right now. I have no more time to be teaching anyone else. I didn't want to. I've been doing this over 30-some years. People come and going, right? I entertain them to some extent, right? To see if they were the ones. I kind of left some leeway there. But if they want to come and listen, I mean, they come and listen and everything. That's no problem. You want to come and listen and help out? That's fine. I have no problem with that, as long as you follow the rules. Don't distort the information, and don't respect it, respect the angel. Don't distort it. I have no problem with that. See, but when they want to get in my way and start slowing me down, that's another problem altogether. See, and I don't know, and so I shake that tree every now and then to see if anything holds on, and most times they don't hold on, so they're gone. I got a mission to come. I'm gonna come from a mission. I'm very single-minded on it, like a laser beam. And I don't need any distractions, but I had a couple of distractions with these Levites because Master Muhammad wants me to take time with them. I've done it, and he wants me one more time. Just before we get out here, I got to get them information they need to get through the tribulation, and I'm through with them. I'm through with them after that, and hereafter I won't have any connection with them. I'm through them after that. I ain't knocking them. And this doesn't pertain to sisters. All you sisters out there, this doesn't pertain to you. As far as I'm concerned, you are the elect. And I'm still your champion. I ain't trying to cause division between the sisters and their husband and carry on. No, I definitely don't encourage that at all. No, you cooperate with your husbands. The sisters, right? As far as I'm concerned, there's no Levite sisters, no Arab sisters, no Shia sisters. You're all sisters. But if you sisters here went through a trip of Holocaust, you even more my sister. You're like my mother. And I'm going to look out for you. I'm your champion. And anybody that mess with you, they're in trouble. Because I bring the wrath of God down on their ass. So everybody keep that in mind. Because if this is complaining about you, beating on them, harming them, and all that kind of stuff. Now, you got some demons out there. We don't care about having them, but you still should be beating on them. But I ain't getting into that. As demon females, I don't care about them. Or the devil ones either, for that matter. Because they're going through the Holocaust, and I'm not going to shed one tear for it. And they're going to be beating everything else, destroyed. But our original sisters, need your hands off of them. And they went to the Holocaust, definitely. Keep your hands off of them. And you sisters, just because I'm your champion, don't mean you go out there and start causing all kinds of trouble. Acting fools, well, he's going to protect me. I'm not going to protect you if you're wrong. But if you're wrong, I'll give you a chance to get right. That's if you want to get right, because we all make mistakes. So I'm with you, sisters. But you brothers out there, you got your marching orders. Nobody told me. I've been on the case, and nobody stands saying, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, Ezekiel keeps saying, son of man, you need to do this, do that. Right? But why is it saying that? Because you want to stay in sync, but they know he's going to stay in sync anyway with the universe. But so that's scripture. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So that's where we are right now. The war is on the horizon. It can happen any day now. They're at war right now. This is not, bullets ain't flying yet. Now I got my mission. I know exactly what I need to do, when and how to do it. I've raised up the 2 Levite prophets. I gave them their mission. I gave them their book. I taught them for 2+ years. Gave them more teaching than any minister, any prophet, any messenger ever got before. So now it's up to them to do with it. But they don't represent me. But they're still supposed to respect me and respect Master Muhammad. But they got their own mission. Like Elijah Muhammad has his mission. They got their own mission. They need to respect my mission. Because they disrespect me, they definitely ain't going nowhere. I can tell you that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to back me up with that 100%. They got their mission. So if they do it or they don't do it. I'm not going to tell them how to do it. I already explained to them how to look at how things happening, what to expect. Gave them their books. Told them the angel. Told them the scriptures. And that's what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, they got their books, right? They're supposed to be getting those books and release no atomic bombs, because that's how they're going to accomplish their mission with the book, the knowledge, the atom bombs in those books. That's what I'm counting my mission with. Every day you see me, I'm igniting new bombs, more powerful bombs, more powerful. In fact, last week, I had bombs that more powerful than I ever had the night before. That's our power. And now they got their own bombs. They got a whole arsenal. That's they're supposed to be igniting those bombs. They accomplish their mission. That's how they're going to accomplish it, by igniting those bombs. So see if they do it or not. That's up to them. See? Hope you understand, bro. So I think we're going to leave it there. I'm going to cover everything I want to cover here. I don't think I'm going to leave it there. Broadcast. Now, let me make sure that should be it. Yeah, that's it, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave it there. Assalamu alaikum.